Good evening, Wanderers. Welcome to the Wondering Hour with Mom and Dad. A cozy corner of the night where your questions drift in like lanterns, and together we follow wherever they glow.
Alrighty. Now that's pretty ironic. This notification on your computer that says, check this one thing off your to-do list. Because question number one for the evening is, what is something on your to-do list that never gets done? It's like the computer knows. I feel like I'm really good at putting things off my to-do list. I have a million craft projects and things that I want to do. Deep cleaning certain things like dusting, let's be real, is not super high priority on my to-do list. But the one thing that I think is the easiest to say never gets done, realistically, this is not the truth. For me, it's probably dishes. It's always the back burner thing. If I can wait a minute, I'm gonna wait a minute.
I feel like it's so easy to put off dishes because, there's another plate in the cupboard. I don't need that dirty plate. So it's it'll be fine for the next, and then you use that plate, and you're like, well, I could use the lid for this thing as a plate right now. I'm really bad about that, using things that, like a mixing bowl as a cereal bowl, because all of our cereal bowls are dirty. I'm really bad about that.
And that's not to say, obviously, that we have an overflowing sink of dishes, because we have a system that generally I think is working for us now, where you kind of do cooking dishes each day and I do eating dishes each day. But the chances of our eating dishes from dinner at 6 o'clock are probably going to wait till 3 a.m. when I wake up and start my day to take care of that. So, I mean, it's not that it's not never getting done, but it's definitely something that I will push back as far as I can. And our house layout's probably not really good for that. The fact that I can turn the corner and go sit in the living room and I can't see the dishes. I'm like, phew, and don't have to worry about that.
You can't see the kids from doing the dishes. So if they're awake, it's harder to sequester yourself in the kitchen while they're in the living room.
Very
if we
true.
had a more open concept, that would be much easier, where you could just watch them as you're doing the dishes. Not me too, not you specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I think it's a weird layout for being productive in the kitchen.
Yeah, and every time I complain about doing the dishwasher, it's so cute because I have coworkers that'll be like, you don't have a dishwasher? No, I'm the dishwasher. Okay, so yes, it usually gets pushed back. If I could just throw something in the dishwasher and call it an afternoon, what a dream.
Yeah, just rinse off the dishes and then put them in the, yeah.
But, and I'm pretty good about rinsing dishes, but I will rinse them and be like,
Yeah.
Later then.
Yeah. You're pretty much clean. I just need to come back and do the next 3 seconds of work some other time.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about that too.
And we also had to limit the amount of dishes that we had, so we weren't just compiling dishes in the sink.
I think that's something that we were from very early on very realistic about, because even when it was just us, I know we could have gotten that 8 set of all the things, and we still got the 4 set because we were both if we get the 8 set, we're gonna have all the dishes in the sink. They're never gonna get done. So we were very realistic about that from the onset, and I think that helped us out a lot.
Yes, unfortunately, our 4-piece dish set has lost some dishes over the years.
2 little plates, 3 bowls.
It's an odd number of dishes. I think we have most of our plates.
Yeah, I think our big plates we got 4 of those.
Our small plates we lost 2 of, which is weird.
I think because I broke one, I dropped one, oops, and then one just disappeared.
Yeah, which is crazy because our kids are not of age to leave dishes around. Yeah. Our house is not that big. I'm not leaving dishes in the bedroom or anything crazy. I'm not using dishes in the bedroom. So I don't know where that last plate went, and I think about it a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna be moving and be like, oh,
that's where you were.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have 3 bowls. It's such a bummer. Yeah. It works really well for us.
Yeah.
And the aged children that we have now, what it doesn't work for is any number of people being at our house and eating a meal.
Yeah, then we break out the fine china, ergo all the paper plates.
Yeah.
It's here, you can use these disposable plates for now because we have nothing.
Yeah, what a dream.
But yeah, I do all the cooking dishes, and that we've recently started doing that. Like right when I'm done cooking, the food doesn't stick on, whatever. It's super easy, and yeah, it's that the dishes have been getting a lot better recently.
Yeah, I would love to get to those eating just a little bit sooner. However, I also clear off the table and start bedtimes right away.
Yeah.
And so
It's
to
just so weird.
like everybody hold on, I just need 7 minutes. Okay, well, what a dream it would be to have 7 minutes. I have kids that are hungry and crying, and I say this after dinner. The hungry one is the baby who doesn't need a bottle because the rest of us are eating food. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Mine, I would say, is, and you know this better than anybody, I'm really bad about cleaning out my car.
Ugh.
I'm one of those people, like, if someone's like a ride, it's like you're gonna have to forgive the mess, and then it's like you get in and the entire passenger seat to the ceiling is full of garbage. That's a joke. It's not that bad. It has been like to the bottom of the seat though, and then I just feel really embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
And then I finally get to cleaning the car. But yeah, we have
I've gone out with friends in your car and been like, I am so sorry, just stand here in the parking lot while I clean all of this really quick because I am a nightmare. And then they get in and they're like, oh, this isn't too bad. And I'm like, well, excuse the dust in the vehicle because somebody doesn't take care of it. And I'm not going to clean it because it's not my car. Mm-hmm. However, I do drive it more often than I'd like. But, a dirty car drives me crazy.
Yeah, again, we started putting like garbage bags in our cars. I think that has helped a little bit.
I did that.
Yeah, that was a great thing. That's still not perfect. I'm still human. And it's still something that I know I'm working on.
If you're a dirty little goblin, just say so.
Just in my car, not even that. You're right. I'm a dirty little goblin, I guess.
I used to be really bad about my car. And I think that with kids, they do more of the dirting the car than I would like. So I'm like, I just need to keep this together. So some part of this is clean in a semblance, but I always used to say that my car was like my dirty little secret because like my life is generally pretty together. I love when coworkers are like, oh my gosh, your house must be so clean. What a dream. Yeah. It's not.
2 kids will do that to you.
But my car was abysmal, and I used to like keep like half my closet in my car because you never know what job I was at or what I need for the day, or it was a whole thing, but
yeah, I think that also, like, not whatever, but you used to have like beaters.
Oh,
you would
yeah.
have like older car, and since getting the family car, and newer, not anything crazy, but like a newer car, a nicer car, it feels more important to keep it clean. And I feel like we've been pretty good about keeping the family car clean.
Absolutely. No, I would definitely agree. And yeah, there's a lot of us in there all the time. Like, I don't have room for garbage to be at my feet. Like, that drives me absolutely nuts. But yeah, when it was just me, sure, I'll pile the passenger seat for free.
Yeah.
However, it's not cool when you do it.
Fair.
Awesome. Well, before we get to our next question, Wonders, don't forget to follow us on Spotify so you never miss a new question. And if you want the extra moments, the cut questions, the cozy chaos, and the memories, come find us on TikTok or YouTube. We'd love to have you there. Keep wondering with us.
Awesome. Right on to our next question then. What is your favorite thing to eat with your fingers?
Oh. Everything. For the most part, if I can eat it with my fingers, one, I'm going to save the dish. No. That's not to say that I'm like eating spaghetti with my hands. I'm not crazy.
What's your spaghetti policy?
Gosh. But I feel like there's nothing really specific that stands out to me. Maybe I want to hear your answer first.
That's fair. This is kind of a cop-out, not really, and it's just one of my favorite things to eat in general. Back before, like, meat got really, really crazy, to purchase it, I would KitchenAid stand mixer grind, 2 pounds of sirloin and 1.5 pounds of ribeye steak, and make those into burgers. And
go ahead. Okay.
And so those burgers are my favorite thing to eat with my hands. They were so good. Like, I dream of the day when we're making enough money so I can buy 2 pounds of sirloin and 1.5 pounds of ribeye and mix it up in a burger meat again. Because I can't fathom that right now. I'd rather eat them as steaks right now, if we had the money for it. But yeah, I dream of those burgers.
And you can find our GoFundMe page. I'm just kidding. That's funny. I like, if it's like a fast food burger, obviously I will definitely eat that with my hands. But even if it's like go to a restaurant burger, like those are, I don't genuinely enjoy super eating a burger with my hands. I'm not like going to like eat it with a fork or anything, but like if it's a large burger, I just feel like my mouth isn't wide enough, and so I like hate that experience.
That's fair, yeah.
So
it was, yeah, they were definitely big burgers. But yeah, I don't like being dirty. Let me preface this with that. And there are a few things, like working on a car or just like mechanical things in general. I don't like, if I get dirty doing the job, I'm not like, I'm dirty right now, I need to go wash my hands. I will finish the job. I'm okay with being dirty for that. And those burgers were so juicy. You just have like grease running down your arms.
oh, see, that's my worst nightmare.
What a dream.
No.
But yeah, that is one of those things. Like, as soon as I'm done eating that, I'm wiping it up as I'm going. But as soon as I'm done eating, I'm going right to the sink and washing my hands. But good burgers, I really, really miss them. I'm stoked for when we get to do that again.
Yeah, I don't think I can think of anything specific off the top of my head. I feel like most things, like if I can have it in a finger food version, though, I would like to.
I feel like it's just, like you said, simpler. You don't have to waste the dish.
Yeah, and in my head, finger foods are generally like a smaller thing, so easier to just kind of eat and munch on it. So that's my preference. Again, I'm not eating noodles with my hands. That's crazy, but like, give me small sandwiches. Give me, chicken strips. The finger foods I want to eat with fingers.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Awesome. Well, good. We're riding the food train today.
Let's go.
What food best describes your personality?
This is such a good question because I don't know. It's so hard to narrow because I want to be like circus peanuts because they taste funny, or like ramen because it's so versatile, or things like that. And yeah, this is one that I don't know. Maybe like a steak, well-made steak, because it's there for you, like you may, as long as you got it down and you understand what you're doing, you make a steak, it's going to be pretty similar every time. You're going to knock it out of the park, and it's just a standard stock good food that's just there. And maybe that's my answer, I think.
I like that. Practical. That makes sense to me. In a weird turn of events, I think I'm going to say like a barbecue potato chip. It's like sweet and salty.
Yeah.
I like to think that I generally have a pretty demure personality, but also I'd say I'm pretty salty.
No.
In the same vein.
Yeah,
so
I can second that.
I was trying to think of what's a sweet and a salty food. I feel like that's a wide range, but I feel like every time I eat a barbecue chip, I'm like, this is sweeter than I expect it to be.
Yeah. I don't think about it. Like, I'm a huge fan of sweet and savory, the combo. I know that's a pretty widely held because obviously that wouldn't be doing it all that much. But yeah, the barbecue, in my opinion, good barbecue chips are the sweeter ones.
Yeah, or like a marshmallow popcorn maybe.
Yeah, marshmallow popcorn. If you've not had, it's so good. If you can find it, I don't know why they don't have it at stores in our area, but if they have it at stores in your area, I don't know what brand. Maybe Jolly Time, not a sponsor. I don't know. But yeah, marshmallow popcorn.
Oh my gosh, marshmallow popcorn honestly changed my life.
Yeah, that was when we were first started dating again. You were like, this thing, and I'm like, yuck. Because I'm not the biggest fan of kettle corn, which is surprising because that's another like sweet and savory kind of dealio. But popcorn is something I think that's so intrinsically tied to salty in my brain that it's hard to break away from that. But marshmallow popcorn is so good. If you've never tried it, I cannot recommend it enough.
It is Jolly Time.
It is Jolly
Mallow
Time.
Magic.
Yeah. Not a sponsor. If you want to sponsor us, please reach out.
Honestly,
if you want to get your marshmallow popcorn in stores in our area, reach out. We will probably solely support your popcorn in our area if you just let us know.
Honestly, my family buys marshmallow popcorn for me for every holiday event that we can. Anytime my family finds it at a store, we will stock up on it. And then we just kind of distribute as, again, we're at events and things like that, but we're very pro marshmallow popcorn. It's just, again, sweet and salty, and I'm not usually super sweet and salty, like taste wise. I like sweet and I like salty. I usually like to keep those two separate, but that is the perfect combination.
That's so good. Again, can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, on to the next one. Would you ever do a ride along with a cop? If so, what would you want to see?
What a good question. I would say that I'm not opposed to doing this experience. However, I would also say that cops make me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it's an interesting time. I think we can all understand that. Not everybody has to agree with it, but it is an interesting time.
Well, I think the big thing for me is it's just that, like, figure of authority. So it's like if I was, like, hanging out with the principal or your boss for the day. Like, I feel like you have that, like, inherent pressure to just, like, be perfect all the time. So I don't, like, love that. So I think that just, like, makes me nervous in general. And I just, like, I don't know if I'm all that interested in all the inner workings. There's not, like, a lot that I'd like to see.
Yeah, that's very fair. I am someone who would be very interested in going on a ride along with the cop, and what I would want to see is, like, I wouldn't want anything played up. I would just like to see kind of the average day-to-day life of, like, a good cop specifically. Just like doing the thing, all the goods and the bads and, like, the silly, because there's so many little things, I'm sure, that even as a cop, like, it's technically a law, but, like, it's kind of silly, right? But you still have to enforce it because that's whatever. It would be fun to just see all those little and the minor interactions. Again, specifically with a good cop, someone who's liked in the neighborhood, like going around and interacting with the youth, and you see it in the movies all the time. They'll stop and shoot a basketball for a little bit, blah blah blah, like that kind of thing. Someone who's actually trying to make a difference and not here for the badge or the power.
Judy Hopps, if you will.
Yes. No, I think it would be fun, and it would have to be a very specific set of circumstances, but I think it would be a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, do you think that ignorance is bliss?
This is such a tough question because I want to say no. Like, I want to have the knowledge. I want to know the things, just to be a better member of society. And I think, like, inherently, you can't say that it isn't. Like, ignorance has to be bliss. If you just don't know certain things are going on in the world just looks brighter. I know that kind of sounds weird, but yeah, there's so many, especially right now, but especially right now, if you are paying attention and trying to be as informed as possible and engaging with the things that are happening, what a dark time. So I think I would have to say yes. I think I would, like, if I just could not know and it not hurt the world, like, we as a people need to know. I think that's core to the change that needs to happen. And if we just could not know, I think we would be an overall happier population in our core little groups. But yeah, I think it would also lead to worse outcomes overall.
Well, I think just kind of piggybacking off of that, like, that's a big thing with like the internet right now in the world of information. Like, think about before that.
It's so easy to get so much information.
Yeah, which is crazy because there's such an overload as well. So yeah, prior to that, I mean, think about how much bliss there was because we just didn't quite know because we didn't have all the information. And so that's a big thing to think about as well. But yeah, I absolutely think ignorance is bliss. There are some things where I'm like, just don't tell me. I don't need to be a part of this. I don't want to know. And yeah, I absolutely think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's things that we do need to know, and it's like that. But yeah, I think there's some things that I'm like, ugh, if I don't need to be a part of this, that'd be great.
Yeah, I 100% agree. On to the next question then.
Yeah.
An easy one. Are you a pacifist?
Yeah, I would think so.
This is, I think, whatever. This is one of the hardest things for me to wrap my head around about you. And I apologize. And I kind of know how that sounds. And I don't ever want that theory tested. I would be interested to see exactly how you would react if something was going on with the kids. Because that pacifism stops at not just my kids, but any harm to any children. You can't sit by. And I'm not trying to belittle you, anything like that. I don't, and if that's who you are, I wholly support that. There has to be those people, and that's not a bad thing, and that's just kind of my belief system. I'm very much not a pacifist, and yeah, it's, again, I would never ever hope to see that, but I would be interested to see how you react when things are happening with the kids, because you're very much mama bear when things are going on, to shield them and protect them, and you can do that and still be a pacifist. This is way off topic, but on topic. When my brother and I were younger and I was doing my shenanigans as I was when I was younger, he had signed up for the Air Force. I had my mind made up to join the Army, and we were getting into a little spat, brotherly shenanigans, and he ended up saying, which resonates here, talking about the military, was that I said something along the lines of, what, you don't want to die for your country, or something like that, which is crazy logic. Thanks, 16-year-old dad. But he replied with, I'm willing to die for my country, I'm just not willing to kill for it. And that's, if you're willing to protect those who cannot protect themselves, that doesn't mean you inherently have to harm anybody.
That's a great point.
So yeah, I would be interested to see in those moments. Again, I hope that never happens. I never want that to happen, but it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's super fair. I would definitely say, I'm a lover and a fighter. That it doesn't mean that I'm also gonna let anything slide. Yeah. So I think that's a great way to put it. I would definitely say that I avoid any sort of violence on any chance that I can. But if you need me to show up, I definitely don't have any issues doing that. Yeah. So I think you gave a really great answer there. No. And you answered that for me. So thanks for making it easy. All right. What do you need to grow?
This, man, the questions that we're pulling from are so fun. When we were originally doing this, I was taking this all really literally. I was kind of not taking it seriously. I'm trying to take it more seriously now. So when we were originally doing this, I was reading my answer in the book before we started recording, and what I said was you need to eat. And that's technically true, but I think for me now, if I was taking this and really wanting to answer this, I think it'd be like a distance and a direction. I want to get this much better at this thing. And even like not even necessarily a distance. If you just have a direction, you can grow like that. I think a distance and a direction makes it easier to accomplish that growth goal. But yeah, I think a distance and a direction would be my answer here. That would, again, kind of make the most meaningful growth.
That's a great answer. Yeah, I would have to agree. I feel so bad. I mean, I was trying to think of like, what would I say? What would the answer be for this? But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You need goals. You need somewhere to look forward to. You need something to aim for. Because you growing technically, food, water, all the things. But yeah, if you want to like grow and expand yourself as a person, you really need to like do the reflection. You need to have goals. You need to like work towards something. And I think that's a great answer.
On to the next one. What is something you wish you had learned?
Oh gosh, great question. I think there's so many answers to this. I want to say like the easiest one for me is like basic math. I mean, like I can do math and I do things, but like that's something like if I wish I had like really learned better and like really put in the time for that, so like have that like fluency would be really nice for me.
I'm interested to see how that all is going to pan out. Like don't take this the wrong way. I hope you don't. Like when the kids are going through it, are you going to take that opportunity to learn with them, do you think? Or do you think that you are going to defer to me in those moments because I am someone that does enjoy math?
That's a great question because I want to say that, yeah, I want to learn with them. I think, so obviously I teach, that's my whole thing. But I teach at a Montessori school, and that's been such a fun experience for me because a lot of like the Montessori experience, like materials are very hands-on. So I feel like as I've been teaching things and working in the school, I've been reinforcing my skills in math-wise and language, things like that. And so like a lot of the math is very physical. So like when I'm doing like static addition, I'm like moving blocks that represent numbers and things like that. And so it's very hands-on. And I think that that's something that I'm working on over time. And so that's been a fun one to see. So I feel like as kids learn and do these things, I get to kind of learn that alongside with them. I get to reinforce those skills and get better at those things. And that's something that I really enjoy doing at school, and I really can't wait to do at home. I think it's very easy to be like, nope, I can't do this. I don't know what this means. I'm not going to. Yeah. But, excuse me. That's something that I always be learning. So I would love to get better at those things as time goes on.
Yeah. I'm definitely hopeful. I know that math has changed a lot, and that's something that I'm going to have to kind of get behind. I was very much even in school, when I was going through school, teachers didn't like it, but I was very much just do all the math in your head. You don't need all these like writing out the problem, if the answer is correct, why does it matter if I write out the problem? And I understand, because then it ensures that you know the process. Or if you get the problem wrong, they can generally see what step was missed or goofed up and help you coach you along the way. So I like looking back now, hindsight's 2020, I understand why they did it, but I never liked doing that. And I was good at math, so I didn't need to do that. I wasn't like getting a bunch of questions wrong, and then the teachers were like, write out your work so I can see how to, it's like they were correct. I would just get docked points because I didn't write out so that was frustrating to me. But it changed so much. So I'm interested to see if I can adapt to new math. And I'm interested to see that as the kids grow up. Specifically to like the boy, because I feel like he's already so smart. I know we're biased, but doing craziness. But I think my answer for this question, and it's interesting, again, I was reading my answers before, and my answer for this question was mechanics. And it's interesting that I work in maintenance now because I'm getting to learn so much of that stuff that I do wish I had learned. And I don't think my answer has changed. I wish I knew so much of the things that when I started this job that I didn't know. Like there's a proper orientation to hold the wrench for tightening and loosening. I didn't know that, and then starting the job, my trainer was like, "You're holding it wrong, weirdo." And I'm like, "How do you hold a wrench? It's a wrench. You do it, you tighten and you loosen." And then they went over and so much of that. And we work a lot with hydraulics, and that's not something that any normal person, many normal people would like, I just want to learn about hydraulics and then sit down and learn about I feel like that's a very specific set of information. But that's something too, because we work a lot with it, and it's interesting. Electronics, electricity scares me so much. I've always said if it can kill you and you can't see it, I don't like it. And although it's not entirely true for electricity, I feel like it is. But that's something that I wish I had put more time in to understand. And at my job, I'm learning so much, reading electrical prints and figuring out what wires go where and do what things and what symbols mean. And it would be such an easier transition if I had started the learning process before taking the job. And luckily my position that I'm in doesn't require that knowledge. I'm the step like before they expect you to have that knowledge, so I really get to take this time, and if I'm with the right people, ask the right questions, and really get that knowledge in the right place for when I take the next step and need to know that information. But yeah, I really enjoy the job that I do now. I think it's working on a lot of skills that I wish I had, making those better. And it's I enjoy troubleshooting things. And again, in maintenance, that's so much of your job is this problem is happening. What's causing it? How do we fix it? And figuring it out that way is really, really rewarding. So yeah, there are a couple little things that I wish I'd learned, and I'm excited because I'm getting the opportunity now.
I love that. That is such a good, in-depth answer, because I was thinking the whole time, what am I gonna put? What am I gonna say? I think, again, fabulous answer. That's, you're learning, you're doing the things, and I love that. I think the big one for me is, what do I need to grow? I think the big one for me is discipline. I feel like that's such a little easy, little cop-out answer, but that's something that I struggle with. I feel like it's definitely easy to just walk away and move on with my life. But if that's something if I can really commit to what I need to do, that's the hardest part for me is what do I need to move forward? Yeah. What do I need to get better? What do I need? How can I buckle down? Yeah. Is the big thing. So I think that's
back to the last distance and direction.
Yeah.
You need that to then figure out what you need to know for the next. It's all kind of intertwined in that.
Absolutely, yeah. Little steps. How do I get there? Like first off, it's goals. Then it's discipline. Then it's committing and
doing the dang thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back on the food trend, I guess.
Oh, sorry. What's your favorite place to order pizza?
Again, I'm gonna keep referencing your answers in the book. There was a pizza place in Colorado when I was there, that we were having like some get together with my friends, my buddies, sorry, and we ordered a bunch of pizza. The wait was insane. We ordered it. It took them like 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
To get us pizza. But oh my gosh, this pizza was so good. The one that I remember was a pepperoni jalapeno pizza. And it was so good. It was called Hell's Kitchen. Not to be confused with the Gordon Ramsay restaurant. But yeah, it was such good pizza. I do have to say, though, that my answer has changed from that. Big shout out to Hell's Kitchen Pizza in Colorado. Very, very good pizza. Highly recommend them if you're in the area. But I would say, since moving back to where we're at now, Casey's Pizza has so grown on me.
Yes.
That I search for a better crust, and I'm not like a huge artisanal pizza guy. I don't go out to pizza restaurants and find the best, but I just keep coming back to Casey's Pizza for the crust, which is arguably the worst but most important part of the pizza. And I would, if at some point the boy grows up and he will grow up, and he doesn't like to eat his crust on the Casey's Pizza that we get for dinner every now and then, heck yeah, dude, give that to me. I'm gonna eat that up. Their crust is just so good, and yeah, it's a weird thing to take a stand on, but I'm gonna stand on it. Casey's Pizza is the best pizza strictly because of the crust. Not a sponsor. Casey's, reach out if you want to sponsor us.
That's so funny because, of course, I gotta stop letting you go first because I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, I think it's such a great pizza, and I mean, I used to work there for a little bit, so like
we did.
We both did. What a fun time. But it's such an easy thing to make. It was so fun to do. I mean, it was just like the easiest little job, and I absolutely love it. I mean, it was fun to like experiment with pizzas as well, but like hands down, even not working there, and I love the pizza. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's special about it, but it's just great. Yeah, I am such a big fan. So
definitely keep coming back to it, and I'll try like Domino's, Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Papa Murphy's.
You can't really mess up pizza.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I keep coming back for the crust, which again, it just feels like, for me, in my opinion, like the crust is the worst bit. As a kid, I used to not eat the crust because I didn't like it, and now to find a pizza that the crust is so good that I want to be eating it, yeah, you can't be overstated. I really love Casey's Pizza so much.
Yeah, good end, I guess.
All right, on to the next one. Away from food, surprisingly, if you could guess. Who taught you how to drive?
Easy answer. This one was my mom. And it was so funny because I remember getting in the car, and my mom has the longest commute, so she usually calls her friend and she talks on the phone. But I got in the car, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? I kind of shift into drive, and my mom immediately is on the phone. And she's talking to her friend, and she's like, guess who's not driving today? Which was just like the cutest, funniest thing. But like, I'm also sitting there, and this is like my first time driving, and I'm like, Mom, are you gonna like tell me what to do? Or are you just gonna sit here on the phone? Like, I need you to kind of coach me through this one. Which again, that's funny because she has the longest commute. So my mom will like paint her nails and drive and things like that. And so like, she's probably not the best person to like learn how to drive. But yeah, she was the one who helped me out here. So.
Awesome. Mine was my dad, your pops. My mom, your Mimi, would have had a heart attack trying to teach either me or my brother, your uncle, how to drive. She is just kind of a naturally anxious person. That is what it is. And like that is a very scary time, to be sure, teaching a kid how to drive. And yeah, it was definitely Pops that taught me how to drive. There was a lot. We had a parking lot next to our house, luckily, growing up, where we could do a lot of the driving, so we weren't on the road yet. We could just kind of goof off and stop and go, turn. In the winter, we could kind of see what sliding felt like a little bit, and I think that was really important for all the like driving in the winter to come. I think that's really, really important during that time.
My aunt was so fun because when we were learning how to drive, she helped us out for a bit too as well. And she would just like, cause small town, so she would just like have us like put in reverse and like just drive backwards, like to practice like that navigating. It was awesome. Good stuff.
There's so much that you are just like, go drive, and there's so much of that you don't necessarily like reverse driving, getting that down, just getting comfortable doing that. And there's so many there's so like parking lots at night, that like stores that are closed. It's like any kind of open area where you can go and do those things are a really, really good tool that should be used more often than I think they are. But yeah, it was a lot of fun learning to drive with my dad. He was very go with the flow, just kind of like whatever it is, just hanging out, doing the thing, and that was a very stress-free learning environment, and I'm very happy that it was him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
definitely good for that. Yeah. I love that. All right. There we go. Sorry. Do you ask enough questions or settle for what you know?
Great question. I am trying to get better at this. I was such a big settler for what I know. If somebody said something I didn't know or understand, I would just kind of like smile and nod. And that got me into binds, but nothing like crazy. So I never felt like it was worth it to change that. But now, like, moving on into like middle adulthood, it's okay to not know something. It was like a point of pride that I just like knew what they were talking about, and they didn't have to explain it to me. But I think that's such like, especially people that you care about. If you don't know what they're talking about, asking about what they're talking about is such a good way to like, I'm interested in what you're interested in. Please tell me more about it. If you're talking about some book that I haven't read, to be like, ooh, I've never heard of that. What is it about? Who's the author? What are the themes? Things like that.
The bird theory.
It's to show that you care. It's such an easy thing to do, to ask questions. And also, everybody could do with more knowledge. I don't think there's a single person on this planet that knows all the things. So if someone's saying something that you don't understand, you don't know about, ask the questions. Unless it's like not a time for that. Because there's also those times I feel like I'm in a very high stress situation. Things need to be happening right now. And someone very commandingly says, do whatever. Generally, you should probably just do that, and then maybe ask questions after the situation has resolved itself. Again, not in every case, but certain circumstances when that could be a thing, just like listen right now and then ask the questions after we're all done doing the thing. But yeah, I used to be a big settler, and I'm really, really trying to ask those questions now because I always need more information.
I love that. I am probably the worst person to have in a classroom because anything, they'll be like, okay, here we go, any questions? And I'm always like, I have a question, or so I always am looking for like more clarification or follow-up. So I always have some sort of question. And if I don't have a question, I can come up with questions. I just always want like all of the information, which is easier said than done. So like I'm always follow-up question, thinking about more. I need clarification here, this, there, that, there. So I'm always looking for more of those answers. So I think that's, again, easier said than done. If you're like somebody who's like in a class with me and they're like, okay, get started on somewhere, and I'm like, but I have a question. Yeah, not everybody's favorite person, but if other people have a question, I'm probably gonna ask it because I gotta know. I need all the info.
Yeah. I used to rely on those people so much, but yeah, again, I'm trying to get better. So
yeah, look at us.
Yeah. All right. Have you ever helped someone cross the road?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that's a pretty, it's like standard, even if it's like just a grandparent that is maybe playing it up or not or whatever. I feel like at some point in everybody's life, that's a pretty universal experience.
Yeah. I mean, I used to do like crossing guards.
Yeah.
Like after school, and before, I used to stand there with my little flag and help people cross the road. Mm-hmm. I also do, work with kids, so field trips, things like that. We're always crossing the road. Yeah. Let me help you get from here to there. We also have kids, so we're always hold my hand, let's get together. So I didn't
think to go the other way with it. I always think olds when you cross them, but yeah, the kids oftentimes, all the time.
Yeah.
Out in public, just grab my hand.
So yeah, definitely. I think that's something we do a lot.
Yeah, again, I definitely feel like that's a pretty, not inherently universal, but I feel like many people would that's such an easy thing to have done. Yeah. It would be hard to say no to that question.
I'd like my badge now. It always makes me think of Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, where you get your little patch for helping someone cross the road, which I can't even imagine it's an actual badge area, but I like to always see that on TV. So
it's like community service or something like that. Is probably what that falls under.
Love it. What is the first impression that you want to give someone?
I love this question, and it's hands down that I'm funny, and it's always so hard to do because there's so many routes you can take, because I don't feel like my actual sense of humor is the most universally liked kind of sense of humor. It's darker, whatever. Jokes may seem a little bit off to the wrong person. So it's that kind of balancing act of how do I kind of show you who I am and my sense of humor without diving in and then pushing you away. And that's really, really hard because I have, at my job, just, dove in to, I'm with friends around, and there's a new guy, standing near, and then I say a joke intended for my friends, and then the new guy, hears it, new person hears it, and it's oof, probably should not have said that joke. But yeah, I think for me, that's what I would like to do most when I'm first meeting someone is I don't want to be the clown, but I want people to remember me that guy was funny.
Yeah, that's a fine line because I especially working with kids in school, there's a line, you know, just going out of the way constantly, making people laugh, and then just genuinely be someone who's what a good opportunity for a joke. I think that's really important.
Yeah. And I think it's also the more solidified me that you get later, that loyalty and steadfastness, that all comes as I kind of get to know you and we spend more time together. But yeah, it's the first thing I hope that people, if they like meet me and they go and tell their partner one thing about me, funny would be the word that I would want them to say. Just because I feel like, and it's maybe not, I feel that is the word that spreads the most joy.
Absolutely.
And that's my goal here on this planet, is to just make one person's day better every day. So
I love that. I think for me, the big, like, I just want people to, I hope that they perceive me as someone who's, like, just genuine and authentic and approachable and that sort of thing. Like, I just want to be someone who's just genuinely themselves. I want somebody to look at me and be like, that's somebody that I enjoy being around. That's somebody who is just being themselves and living their best life. And
like genuine.
yeah, genuine is absolutely the word that I would hope for. And I think that's easier said than done. I feel like again, my personality is not for everybody, so a lot of people will perceive it as just kind of being a fakeness. And I say that because that's, people have told me that before, and they're like, oh, and the more time that I spend with you, that I just really see that this is just kind of who you are. It changes people's perception of me, which is totally fair. I just want to be my truest self, and I want people to be able to see that and just be like, ugh, that's the type of person I could be around without, Yeah.
And there's a lot, like, you are just like over the top.
Yes.
And that, like, not a slight, it is what it is. And yeah, that's definitely very easy for someone to be like, oh, you're putting on a show.
Yeah.
And yeah, to then exist around you for any amount of time and see that that's who you are, peppy in the morning and positive and all that, like, that starts to then rub off when you stop perceiving it as an act. It starts to rub off, and then you are very, very much enjoyable to be around, because that the positivity aura, that's your vibes attract your tribes kind of thing. I think that's really, we kind of are positive for each other, and it just makes that aura bigger, in my opinion, and I really, really enjoy that about us.
I love that. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, on to our next question. I think this one will also be our last question of the evening.
Awesome.
Would you rather, if you had to, break an arm or a leg?
Gosh.
I don't know that we kind of factor pain into this. I think it would just be strictly the limitations that it would put on your day-to-day life. Because I've never broken a bone in my body. I don't know if there's a pain. I'm sure there is a pain difference between arm and leg. But I think we set that aside because, again, I don't know what that is. But yeah, strictly the limitations that it would input on your life.
Yeah, gosh, that's such a hard thing to think about. And yeah, it's like, which arm, which leg?
Yeah.
Like, because I think about school for the first part. I feel like to not have a leg, like, showering is going to be hard.
To get around with the kids, like to chase down kids.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Get one side of the room to the other to, like, do personalized help or anything like that, I think would be tough.
And I'm trying to think about, like, navigating things and spaces, and our house is already so small. Could you imagine
Crutches, like going up the stairs on crutches?
Oh,
jeez.
Yeah, no, I can't. However, to break an arm as well, like, how am I going to teach handwriting if I can't use my arm? Like, but I feel like, I feel like it would have to be arm. I'd rather break an arm because, I think just navigating life without both legs would be much more difficult.
Yeah, that's very fair. I can speak from experience, not breaking. Again, I've never broke a bone in my body, but I had 2 surgeries on my right leg, which is very notably my, like, pedal leg for driving, and, like, they had to immobilize it for a time after the surgery, so I had to, like, cross my legs over and learn how to left foot drive. And that was a pain. Getting around in the wintertime on crutches is a pain. And I would still have to disagree with you. I would very much break a leg. than break an arm. It's, for me, all the things that I do, like I couldn't work. I can get around, do things fine enough at work. In a leg cast, it wouldn't be the most fun thing around, but I need both my hands for so many things that I do at work. If I could even be at work, I don't know. I'm sure they would not let me there with a cast. And then gaming. So much of the stuff that I do in my off time, like video gaming, playing a controller game one-handed would be tough. Mouse and keyboard would be insanely difficult. Like learning to left-handed mouse. Yeah, learning to left-handed mouse would be insane. And then like card games. I play a lot of card games. So to like have both my hands to fan out my cards and then just be down to one hand to do all the things, set my hand down and play my cards and tap my lands and do all those things, like to relearn all of the things that I do for fun because of a broken bone just would be such a bore. I would hate to do that. So I think although I think it would be difficult, I would just be able to have way more fun if I broke a leg than if I broke an arm. And yes, and I could do it. There's all kinds of accessibility things that have been made for gaming in recent years. But I just wouldn't. If I could avoid it, I'll just break a leg, be out of commission for a couple weeks, and then be right back at it again.
Yeah, that's a great point. I can definitely see what you're saying, and I can agree with all the points as well. Again, I'm just trying to think about putting those kids to sleep and going down the stairs, and I just don't know. I just don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
I can already help the boy put his pants on one-handed. I just don't know if he could do those steps.
Again, I think that it would be much harder, but I just would not enjoy my time as much if I had a broken arm. Already having done the leg thing, because I had 2 surgeries, it was probably like 4 to 6 months in total, 1 year that from my knee down I was immobilized, or below my knee was immobilized, just my ankle. So to not have that and then crutch around and things, like I've done that before, so I know that. To immobilize my wrist and potentially my elbow and no. To relearn my hobbies would be so frustrating.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And with that, I think we're going to close out this episode. So I want to say thank you for wandering beside us. May your night be soft, your questions light, and your path aglow until we meet again.